Hey, good morning, Stefan. Here's what we're following today. New COVID-19 modeling showing that variants will likely make up 40% of cases by the second week of March. And while the drop in long-term care deaths is good news, the province's science advisory table is warning a risky period lies ahead.
Cases will likely explode if the virus gets into conditions that create super spreader events. Simply, we need to watch our every step. Only care and caution will protect the gains that we have right now.
If variants get out of control and restrictions are loosened, Ontario could see 4,000 cases a day by the end of March. These projections show hospitalizations will likely rise again as the variants spread, and the province needs to act quickly to impose more restrictions when flare-ups happen. By the way, 11 Toronto schools are now reporting variant cases, including 3 more within the TDSB since Wednesday. Well, we are looking ahead to warmer weather. The city announcing its first registration window for this year's Cafe TO program. It's expanded. It opens for registration this morning at 9 until March the 26th, and it allows local restaurant and bar owners to expand their outdoor dining space during the pandemic. Once approved, Cafe TO curb lanes, they could be installed as soon as mid-May, nearly 2 months earlier than last year. And everything is posted on the city's website if you're looking for some more information, toronto.ca. Well, a reality check from Canada's Deputy Chief Public Health Officer. Even if you are fully vaccinated, don't expect to return to your pre-pandemic life.
Life won't get back to normal the way we understood it. Even for those people who have received the 2 doses of vaccine.
And that is Dr. Howard New saying we don't know yet if vaccinated individuals can still spread the virus to others. Federal officials promise vaccine deliveries will increase over the coming months. 1.3 million Moderna doses are coming in March, and 10 million Pfizer shots are expected by June. But New is urging everyone to keep up safety measures to prevent new, more contagious strains of this virus from taking hold.
Let's continue practicing the good public health measures. I think a lot of the personal behaviors have become second nature for many people in terms of using, the masks, keeping your distance from others.
Well, the Prime Minister will be joined by the country's top public health officials at a briefing at 11:30 this morning. As always, we will be streaming this one on our website, citynews.ca. And after that update, the Prime Minister will be having a virtual meeting with America's new Secretary of State. Antony Blinken will first meet with his Canadian counterpart, Marc Garneau, and that's at 2 p.m. Trudeau then joining that conversation around 3. It's expected they're going to be discussing the plight of Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor. But during Trudeau's talk with Joe Biden earlier this week, the president offered no clues as to how the U.S. is prepared to help. All right, to a City News exclusive story now. A student with the Toronto District School Board is questioning why a racially insensitive poem was taught in class.
Who knows that there could be other Black students that have faced racial injustice directed to them, and maybe this would offend them in some way. You could never know. So I just don't feel like this is something that needs to be talked about or taught in classrooms.
The student, who asked to not be identified, says the poem makes troubling references to slavery. It was assigned to a grade 10 French class at Lawrence Park Collegiate. The translated poem includes lines like, "I went to the scrap market and bought chains, heavy chains, for you, my love." The student says there was no discussion or disclaimer before this poem was assigned. The TDSB says in a statement they have only just learned of this incident, and they say the poem is not included in any TDSB or provincial curriculum. And we're going to be getting some more reaction a little bit later on this morning. Joining me is the co-chair of Toronto Police Board's Anti-Racism Advisory Panel. He's coming up at 7 o'clock, so a lot to discuss with him as well. You're probably seeing this making the rounds. Some cities across Alberta getting a show, a bright meteor. So have a look at this. Ready? Don't blink, you'll miss it. There it is. Okay, so the meteor lighting up the sky in Calgary around 6:30 a.m. Monday. It was also spotted in Edmonton, Red Deer, Lloydminster. No reports of any damage or debris. Now, experts say from the University of Alberta, they're going to be examining these videos to determine if any debris is likely to have struck the ground and where. Very cool. All right, let's get to education now. While many graduating university and college students, they are looking to launch their careers. The job market presenting fewer opportunities than normal. because of the pandemic. So could this have lifelong impacts? In 10 minutes, I'm going to be speaking with a student from the University of Toronto on how she's feeling as she enters this workforce. And coming up next, the head of the CMHC warning Canadians that house and home could cost you an arm and a leg if you get in too deep, and a lot of people are. So Mike Epple's going to break down those numbers for you and what is next.